What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Another episode, Dr. Yawg's Clinic. My name is Brandon Osborne, aka Control for Days. Today, I'm going to walk you through this Modern League match with the deck Black-Green Yawgmoth. I'm going to show you the ropes and hopefully show you what it takes to win the matchup and be successful. We are paired right now. Our opponent has revealed a Gigantha. We are on the draw, and our opponent has mulliganed to 6 cards. Our opening hand is definitely keepable. Got a little bit of ramp, got some tutors, have a piece of our combo potentially. So we're going to keep it and see what our opponent does. Gigantha could be any number of decks. Could be Tron, could be Shadow, could be an Asmo variant. So it could be a number of different things. So we've got all of those decks on our radar. Polluted Delta right off the bat. That takes Tron out of the mix into a Steam Vents and a Channeler. So we're thinking Death Shadow first thing. We've done a couple of videos on Death Shadow. It's a fairly popular deck, so that's not really that much of a surprise, but we'll see. We'll see if that's what this is, in fact. We're going to lead on our bird. It's probably going to be fodder for a Lightning Bolt or an Unholy Heat. Hopefully not, but I think that's likely the case, so we'll see. Opponent plays out their Delta, fetches, shocks. Alright, so I think this confirms that it is in fact Death's Shadow. Not that it wasn't already pretty likely, but I think that's pretty straightforward. That's what we're playing against at this point. Alright, they've been a Shredder, 3 card types in the graveyard, so Channeler is only hitting us for 1, which is good right now. Here I think we're going to fetch Shock. I think we need to work towards making our mana base a little bit better here. So unfortunately going to take a little extra damage, but we're going to play out our Geist. And then they're at 14. I guess the question is, do they have, if they have another land into Death Shadow, whether or not we swing doesn't really make a difference. If they don't have land into Shadow, it's always this like push-pull in this matchup, whether or not you want to attack them or not. I think they're low enough now at this point. No, I think I'm going to hold back. I'm going to wait a turn. It's close. It's borderline. Because they mulliganed, I think that's part of the reason why. Alright, they have an iteration. Guessing they're going to hit a fetch land here. Or a land. They've been a Ragavan. And now they're going to have Delirium for the Channeler as well. So that's going to bump up to a 3/3. So their clock is a little bit faster than ours. We definitely want to pull a land off the top. Alright, so there's fetch land into Death Shadow. So it looks like maybe attacking was the right move, but it's hard to say. They're at 11. They have a Shadow. 2/2 Shadow, which is fine. We really want to land off the top. Let's see if we can pull one. Grist is unfortunately not a land. I think we play out our bird here and then pass the turn. Likely going to be courting. Trying to find ourselves our Dryad Arbor end of turn, assuming the bird survives, which it may or may not. Yeah, we need to build out our mana base a little bit. So here, I think we're going to let our opponent take something with Thoughtseize. If they take the Chord, that kind of takes our play away, but if they don't, that's what we're going to do. And there's a lot of good options here in terms of what they can hit. So I don't know that Cord is necessarily guaranteed. I think they probably take the Grist, if I had to guess. Maybe? Okay, yeah, they took the Grist, so we'll have our end of turn Cord, which is nice. Alright, we'll chump block here. They have a second Shadow, which is pretty good. And we will get ourselves our Dryad Arbor. Alright. So we are at 10 life. They have 2 mana up, so they're representing a what's the card? Drown in the Lock, which is not good for us. If we commit this Yawgmoth, we're pretty deep in the hole in terms of we're in a position where we likely have to block. I think I'm going to set myself up to try to win next turn. So I'm going to play out a Hierarch and a Blood Artist. And this will help with our life total a little bit. Alright, so there's the Drown in the Lock, so I was correct. That is in fact what they have. Been another Ragavan, and now they're playing off the top here. Alright, so they draw land. Prices us into blocking 2 creatures here. 6, 7, 8, 9. So we could block. I think we need to block in a way where we can cast Yawgmoth. So I think we're gonna block like that. And go from there. I don't know if we can win from this position. I think it's going to be really tough, but we're gonna do our best to do so. Okay, so if we go down to 6 with a fetch land. And we really want to pull a wolf off the top. Young Wolf is the best possible draw here. So we'll... I guess the question is, do we hit the Dragon's Rage or do we hit a Death Shadow? I think we're gonna hit the Dragon's Rage. Okay, and we pulled the Wall of Roots, which I don't think is gonna cut it. Yeah, that doesn't do it. All right, we're down a game. We'll see how game 2 goes. Our hand didn't pan out too well there. This matchup, we're gonna bring in Decays. We're gonna bring in Endurances. And I think that's probably it. I could bring in Hapatra, that's a maybe. We'll see. Hapatra's maybe. I like boarding out Evos against decks that have a ton of discard. I like boarding out some birds as well, so I think that's the way we're going to go. And we'll bring Patron in just because it's got some pretty high upside to be able to wipe their board. So we'll see how this goes. Alright, opening 7 is fine. We will keep. It's a little fragile to some discard, but I think most hands, most 6-card hands would certainly be as well. So you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, I guess maybe there was a consideration there to fetch Shock so I could get Messenger into play on turn 2, but I don't love it, so. And it's always surprising against these decks to see them leaving some number of Ragavans, especially on the draw. It's just not a very good card against us. So we are A-okay with that happening. We're going to leave our Geist back as a blocker, and then next turn, if our Hierarch survives, we'll have a Yawgmoth. And then if it doesn't, we can play out our Hapatra or whatever it is we draw off the top. Okay, there's a Croxa. We are definitely okay with that. In terms of what I'm discarding now, I think I'm going to get rid of the Messenger. I just think Hapatra is generally good enough for us to just beat them. If we amass a board of creatures, I don't know how they, like death touch creatures, I don't know how they beat us from there. Okay, another Geist is pretty good too. I'm going to get the Yawgmoth into play, and then we pretty much have a win next turn. If they can't do anything. So we're going to knock down this Ragavan, and then from here, I'm actually going to incentivize them to play out Death Shadows. I really not too worried about them, especially if Yawgmoth stays on the board, so we're gonna let them do that. Okay, they're playing on Iteration, which is really good for us. They're gonna hit 4 card types in the graveyard. Alright, and they scoop. They probably didn't hit a fetch land, so they just lost there. Alright, game 3. We'll see how this goes. Our sideboard strategy, I think I like it. I think we're pretty good with what we did. So, well, yeah, we'll just submit. We'll go with what we got. Alright, our 7, I actually really like this 7. I don't like the Messenger, but I like everything else, so we're going to keep this. Having access to multiple Young Wolves, like having chump blockers in this matchup is really, really good. So, as you can see, it just completely negates their turn 1 play, which once again, I'm not sure why they're leaving that in. Here, I think I'm going to fetch Shock. I want to fix our mana a little bit, and we're going to get our Young Wolf into play. And best case scenario is we find ourselves another green source next turn. If we find another green source, we just have chump blockers for days, and that's kind of where we want to be. As long as they don't have a DRC, it's a good situation. Okay, that's a little annoying. Let's see if that has an impact here. Yeah, we'll trade if that's what you want to do. So this is another reason why we have Abrupt Decay in the sideboard. Alright, we got our green source, which is good. I wonder if we fetch Shock again. I don't think so. I think we preserve our life total a little bit here and hope that the Hierarch lives. It's kind of bad that they can 1-for-1 with all their removal at this point on our Undying creatures because of the hearse, which is a little annoying, but alright, they're gonna Thoughtseize us. I'm guessing they take the Endurance. And I think they kept a card on top. They did. There goes the Endurance, as expected. Alright, and that's pretty good. Yawgmoth, probably one of the best draws we can have. And now we can leave up Yawgmoth as a way to, like, they can't hearse us because we can always respond and activate the Yawgmoth. Okay, I played on a land this turn, so I don't really need to do anything else. We're just going to pass the turn. If we pull another black source off the top, we're actually pretty close to just combo killing them. Okay, there's a Terminate. I think I'm going to get rid of one of these channelers here. I think I'm actually going to get rid of both of them. So there goes our Yawgmoth, which is fine. Okay. They're going to be able to surveil 2. They're going to keep a card on top. And there goes our Yawgmoth. So for us, we kind of want to land. That's not bad. Cast out a Wall of Roots, and then we'll cast a Geist and swing in. And we're really pressuring their life total at this point. They only have one card in hand. And we have, I think, the board advantage and card advantage right now, so we'll see. See what they do. Okay, so they're representing either removal or a counter spell here. So we'll see which it is. I'm going to play out a Hierarch to lead off. I'm going to swing in for 3. I'm going to see if they do something, and then if they do, second main, I'll play out the second Geist. Okay, so they're just going to be chump blocking here, which doesn't seem great. Oh, okay. That's pretty good. So that changes things a little bit. Okay, I think I'm going to play out a bird and then pass. And depending on what they do with their next turn, we have the potential to cast out quite a bit of stuff from our hand. Alright, there's a Shredder, which is annoying, but is what it is. Alright, can we cast out everything here? We have 6 mana. We can. So I think we're going to. We'll let them connive off of the Shredder. That's fine. Connive away. Discard. It was a land. If they start attacking with the Shredder, it actually opens up attacks with the Birds of Paradise. So, well, hopefully they don't have that on their radar. We'll see. And if for some reason we draw into a way to remove the Hearse, whether it's a Beseiju or a or an Abrupt Decay, I think we should just pretty much win from there. Kroxa, that's fine. See if they attack with the Shredder. They do not. They are perceptive. They see what's going on here. Okay, Endurance is a pretty good draw. I don't really see a reason not to right now, so we'll just Endurance right now. We'll knock out their graveyard, get rid of the Kroxa. And then we will pass the turn. They have the ability to draw a card off the Fiery Islet right now too, so they'll have a card in hand, which is fine. Okay, they have a land. If we draw like a Chord of Calling, if we draw, I don't know, any business spell really puts us in a position to just win the game from here. Alright, there's the Chord. Alright, so with that being said, cards that we can get, I think Yawgmoth probably just takes the cake in terms of what the best thing is. So I think that's what we're going to go for. And I'm just gonna cast it right now. I'm not gonna give them an opportunity to do anything too crazy with it. It's 3 and 4. 3, 4. No. We'll tap down the Geist here. All right. All right. Yawgmoth is entering the battlefield. Let me see here. 5. Okay, I think we're in a position where we can attack with the bird, so I believe I'm going to do that. And then if they want to chump block with the Shredder, we can pretty much get rid of it at that point. Okay, another chord is definitely not bad. And then they're kind of in a tough spot at this point. They can't really do too much. We could also dump the Snapcaster right now, which I think might be fine, which takes them off being able to do anything with the hearse. So from here, maybe that was the right play. Maybe I was supposed to do that pre-combat, just get rid of their stuff and then go from there. Okay. I'm fine with the way this stands. Okay, I'm not sure what their outs are at this point. Okay, and we got the match. Took down Death Shadow. It was kind of it was an interesting match. There was a lot of intricacies to the lines there. I think there was a lot of decisions to be made. So I'm glad I got that one on camera. I know we've seen a couple of Death Shadow matchups at this point. I think this is the first one we've seen with Giganta, though. Not that it did anything, but it's the first iteration of that sort of a list that I've had on camera. So I hope you've got something out of this. My name is Brandon Osborne, aka Control for Days. If you want to support me further, please hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought of the match in the comments below. I'm sure there are lines where you could have gone a different direction, so I'd be curious to hear where you would have done things differently. And then also, if you want to further support me, I have a Patreon. It is in the description below. Any and all contributions will be put towards content creation tools. So any contributions that you make, I greatly appreciate. And they do not go unnoticed. So thank you to everybody that's done that already. And if you do it, thank you very, very much. With that being said, I'm checking out. I will see you guys next time. I hope you continue to be well, and I'll see you then.